We can take a couple of questions. Would it, do you need the mic? We can share this one.
And what we'd like to do, if you have any questions, you're going to have 1 minute so that we'll give an opportunity for everybody to be able to ask the question, okay?
Thank you for being here. I still have unfinished business from the Dominion voting machines. I still think that if we keep them around the country, that's still a chance for illegal things to happen. And I never have had anyone recently talk about what the nation on the whole, the Republican Party, is doing to get rid of those machines. I know they have programs in them, like the Smart thing that was up for Smartmatics. And I think there's one in Florida that the governor said it's okay. It's called CRISPR. I'm not sure if I remember that correctly. But I still think they need to be eliminated. And I don't know how you feel about it, what's being done.
So the question was about the voting machines. Do we feel like President Trump and the current administration, after what we went through in 2020, is going to address this issue on a national level?
President Trump has spoke about this issue, and I think most of us, if not all of us in this room, agree that we need to go back to the system the way it was before. Paper ballots, no machines, same-day voting, none of this early voting. We could do it before, we can do it again. And President Trump has talked about this, that this needs to be done. I know I'm 150% behind him on it, because those machines, they can manipulate them. And all the work that Mike Lindell did for these machines and coming up with I don't know if it was kind of like a drone that would fly around to say that they were on the internet when they were claiming they weren't, so that they can manipulate those machines. We can't allow this. And I have 100% trust in Donald Trump that he's going to do the right thing, and he knows what the right thing is. He's talked about it. The changes just need to be made. But we have to understand that in order for him to succeed, as we said earlier, we've got to keep our foot on the gas, and we got to focus on the midterms, because we need as many seats in the House and the Senate to back his agenda as possible. And we need to be on the horn telling these people that we will not sit back while they do not follow his agenda. And tell them, you will be primaried and we will be voting against you. Your butts are out. It's critical.
I think that a very good point of that is we just saw the vote on the males being in female sports. Do you guys realize that passed by like 14, 15 votes, that we protected it? That was all Republicans. All Democrats voted for it. Republicans voted against it. 14 votes. That's 14 elections. 14 elections. If we lose, we could have lost that and had males and female sports as a norm.
Neil Ganzel, the pastor of this church. I listened to all of this, and I don't hear you talking about the effect that everything we're having trouble with has emerged from the seminaries, the law schools, and the business schools. The seminaries are privately funded. The business schools are funded by public monies. Everything we talk about going to hell in the society, I think is in large measure, the fires are fueled by what the teachers in the schools, the philosophy, the business schools, are turning out people who just think it's okay. And that ends up in the local community with the local business association and the people who control the local business association and the voting to an extent just don't really understand themselves right now why everything that they've paid for and expected good out of has turned right now into a big mess. The universities, the schools, the businessmen, there are people in this room probably as business guys who really don't understand how bad the economy is getting ready to be simply because our nation has started doing things that are immoral.
So I witnessed this in art school in 97, where I came to understand kind of early on that they don't really teach you art, they teach you politics. And so there's an idea of institutional capture, and this has been going on for decades and decades and decades. They've taken, we see it with, with the media, they all reinforce each other. Academia comes out with some crazy study, media picks up on it, it becomes sort of de facto truth. There ain't no truth in any of it, right? It's just, all this stuff's made up. But they have overtaken, and you can go way school and all those things, the 20s, the 30s, the 1800s and all that. But it has been going on for quite some time. And it shows you how much work we still have to do. It's nice that we won the election. It's nice that he's got a lot of executive orders going on, and we're minimizing some of the damage and taking some control back. But that's not going to do it. Even passing laws against DEI and some of the other initiatives that we all support, without taking back these institutions, academia, in the business and everything else, all these corporations, doing all the crazy do, it's because it starts in academia, right? And these crazy think tanks who push this stuff on to corporations, and they bow, right? Of course, yeah, I don't want bad press. And it's going to take a lot. And that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, and something that I'm really trying to support, not just with the institutions, but as Andrew Breitbart said, culture is upstream from politics. That you have to affect the culture. And by doing things like this book and our documentaries, and we're trying to bring together a lot of cultural influencers and artists and writers, filmmakers, you name it, sculptors, I don't care, all of it, to create things in the culture that will affect people, that will move people, that will show them that, A, we're not monsters, but that we also have insight into humanity, and we are able to express that in a beautiful way through media that we don't see now. I literally cannot watch a movie made after 2020 in Hollywood. It's insane. They ruin everything. And so it's not just a matter of coming up with like a nice movie or a good book or a nice pretty painting, although that's part of it. It is a long-term immersion in all these different disciplines to be able to slowly bring it back. Remember, they've been doing it for 100 some years. It's not quick, but you can make huge impact in short bursts. And that's one of the things that I promised that I would do to any degree that I could, and I support anybody else who's doing that, and understand when you go to your school board and you fight back against the madness of what they're trying to do, you're doing your country a service, not just your family, not just your school. You're standing up for sanity and for things that matter. And that's the way that it happens. It happens at a real granular, grassroots level. Supporting media, supporting cultural events and art shows even. Just whatever it is that you can do to support matters, because it allows people that are trying to do that stuff the freedom to be able to do it. Remember, this stuff ain't free. Everyone's got to live. To the degree that you can do that, and to the degree that you can go to your school board and fight for the things that you believe in, it matters. So that's how we do it, But it is a fantastic question. And one of the things that we absolutely 100% need to do in order to not just bring it back temporarily, but to imbue that American spirit and that American just good old common sense back into the culture.
I just have a question. The midterms are important. But what is the Republican Party thinking about doing with people like Murkowski, Collins, okay? Because that's up to the party. Now, George Soros, we watched him get people elected for years with dark money. Why don't the Republican Party do something with these rhinos? And, you know, we'd like an exchange of ideas. It creates conversation, and that's what this party's about. But those people are in constant opposition to anything Trump wants to do. And they've been in opposition prior to him.
You know, you mentioned the rhinos, and through a series of shows, we've had Senator Scott, we've had Byron Donald, Congressman Donalds. I their first name, but great men, great patriots. But one of the things they say is they get attacked. Like, who of anyone can talk about being attacked when you're working under Mitch McConnell? I mean, Senator Scott, his last hit, and we were told this 2 weeks prior, Senator Scott's not going to get leadership of the Senate. And McConnell's already selected someone, and he's going to go out hard, and he's already rallied everyone to vote for him. And sure enough, it occurred. So to be able to voice this, get these people out, and, you know, Governor DeSantis said it the other day. If you're attacked by media today, don't get upset. It's a badge of honor. It really is. And I loved when he said it. I went, wow, you know, of all people. But that's one of the biggest things is we've got groups like this are what's going to stop it. And if you don't think you can do it, I didn't think we'd win this election. I really went into this election going, I don't think our world's going to change. I think we're done. I think what prophesied in the Bible is over. But groups like this saved America. And we needed that.